On this episode, we talk to
the Columbus Young Professionals.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another hashtag Celebrate Columbus show. My name is Josh Burnett, and as you can see, we've got a bunch of special guests with us today. We are hanging out here at the Fish Tank, the Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce, and we've got a special edition of the show. We're talking to the Columbus Young Professionals. And just in case you didn't know, I am actually a part of CYP, and I'm a proud member, and I'd like to introduce you to our guests today.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ice. I'm the VP of Marketing for CYP. I'm also the Marketing Director for the Columbus, Indiana Philharmonic.
Hi, I'm Ritika Shah. I'm the VP of Membership, and I actually work at Reams Asset Management as an analyst.
Hi, I'm Brock Beal. I'm the VP Resource Management, and I work for Old National Bank as Banking Center Manager at Columbus Downtown.
Hi, I'm Kyle Hendricks. I'm the President of CYP, and I also work for the United Way here in Bartholomew County.
Hi, I'm Ashley Fisher. I'm the VP of Events, and I own a company called AWF Events here in Columbus.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for the introduction. Columbus, you have submitted some great questions to us, so let's get into the show. The question we have to ask is, what is CYP?
Yeah, so CYP is a group of young professionals that helps other young professionals in the community navigate their work, their life, and their community. We rebranded in April of last year with a new group, and we're really excited. We've done a lot of awesome stuff, I think, in the last year, and we're happy to share it with the community.
Very cool. Anything that you guys would want to add to that?
No, I think that sort of is exactly what represents CYP, filling in gaps for every individual, whether it be work, life, or community. CYP is the place to go for that.
CYP, I think, also creates that kind of safe place for young professionals who maybe are new to the community. CYP, I think, for newcomers is important to start networking and meeting those community leaders in Columbus to further your work life, but also your personal life too, because I mean, we do get a lot of recruits in for Cummins and other companies here in Columbus, but if you're coming in and you don't know a single person, CYP can be that group of YPs that you can connect with professionally, but also personally, and go out and have coffee and go have a drink after work together. And so we're a group of YPs, but we're also a group of friends, and I think that's important to revert back to.
And the other thing too, something that we noticed when we did rebrand is we do have a lot of YPs coming into the community every year, but our retention rate is pretty low for especially single YPs. They find that after about 18 months to 2 years that they are feeling a little isolated, or maybe there's not enough to do around town. They have a good group of small friends, but it's not enough to keep them here. So part of CYP is to retain the young professionals and actually keep them here, and we want them to put roots down. So we're trying to create programming and a support group so that they do feel that they can stay and put roots down, even if they don't have family that's keeping them here.
Why does Columbus need a young professional group?
I think speaking from my personal experience as a newcomer to Columbus, I was not born and raised here. I actually moved here about 1.5 years ago from Evansville with my husband. And just kind of some background on our story. We moved here for his job. We got a transfer here to Columbus, and we had never been here once. Actually, when his company told us we were moving to Columbus, we thought, Ohio, of course. So whenever we came here, we kind of got a quick tour and fell in love with the city just immediately. We kind of came up here not really thinking we were going to take the job or move up. On the drive down, we joked like, oh my gosh, we're totally doing this. We're just going to pick up our entire lives from Evansville and just move here. We don't know one single person. We were just introduced to his partner at his firm. So we were kind of out of our element a little bit. I didn't have employment, so I was kind of, driving myself crazy, staying at home all the time. So I actually got plugged in at Engage Columbus before it was Engage Columbus. I met Kristen Munn out there, and they kind of started getting me plugged in. I met Annie Smith at the Chamber, who was really involved with CYP, and says, hey, you need to come out with us and kind of learn about what CYP is doing in the community. And that's how my husband Roy and I got involved. I think Columbus really thrives on, the community leaders here locally, and I think we really need that youth, that young spirit, and I think that's what CYP brings to the community. Okay, I'm kind of ranting now. I'm gonna stop.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but it speaks for all of us too.
I think
what
so,
you're saying,
yeah,
I think all of
for
us
sure.
feel that same feeling.
Yeah, I think.
How about you, Brock? Why did you stay?
Not being from Columbus at all, I got involved with the CYP after a year of living here, and oddly enough, Caitlin's husband is from my hometown of Vincennes, and we actually didn't meet until I met him at the CYP events. And then
Really?
from there we kind of became better friends, and I can even say I'm friends with Caitlin now. But,
Thanks.
But no, it is a great opportunity if you're new to town to meet other young professionals and get involved in network.
Right. I think whenever you're new, you and I mean, like I said, we didn't know a single person. You kind of thirst for that human contact and that human interaction, and you want to be around peers, and you want to be around like-minded professionals in your community, and that's what CYP brought into our lives. And I can now proudly call all of our CYP board our personal friends, and I think that means a lot for newcomers in the community to find that core group where you can just feel comfortable around them. You can develop kind of a mentor relationship too, and that's what CYP has done for us. And I can tell you that we're not going anywhere. I think Columbus is, we've, like Ashley said earlier, we've put down roots here, and this is the kind of community that we want to stay in and raise a family.
Well, it's good too because there's door openers with every relationship. I mean, you may know somebody that I don't know that I'm looking for that service to be done. I can come to you and say, hey, do you know a guy? And chances are somebody knows someone that can get you connected.
So I'm from Columbus,
Right.
and I mean we went to high school together, and it's really easy as someone who's from Columbus to kind of have your set network of your friends and your co-workers and family members, and you're much more ingrained into the community. And a lot of what I hear from people who aren't necessarily from here, who are transplants, they'll get keyed in with like their company or their church or their social group, and that's great. We definitely encourage that. But I think one of the things that's so great about Columbus Young Professionals that I've experienced as a local is that none of us work together. We all come from these different parts of the community, and I think that's a huge value for having a group like this in Columbus, for young people especially. You may not have too many ties outside of your family or your immediate co-workers, and this is a way to connect you to different parts of the community that you otherwise may not have connected to.
Yeah, we don't want you to feel so isolated.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna take like all of that, and coming from a different country altogether and from a really big city like Toronto, it was a huge change. I had never lived away from home, and so it was a big step for me to like come to US from Toronto, and then also getting familiarized with the new community. And I think my goal initially when I got introduced to CYP, and I think similar to Caitlin, I got introduced, but I think it was more to do with getting involved in the community. I just sort of wanted to, yes, I wanted to make friends, but I think it was also just to step out of my comfort zone and see what this community has to offer. And I think that's where it fit in. But I think I can really, truly say I got more than what I bargained for. Not bargained for, but actually what I expected out of it.
Yeah.
They truly are my friends. The example being the haircut. The haircut I got was actually a referral from Caitlin. So I think it speaks to like we just kind of talk about it and see about services that's out there. What have you tried? And it's kind of fun that way.
Yeah.
Networking is really important to our generation. How does CYP provide these opportunities to YPs in Columbus?
That's a great question. We have such an involvement from our Columbus area chamber. They sponsor us in a fantastic way. They allow us to network with local business owners. It's a perfect opportunity to go to chamber events and events that the CYP sponsors to meet those leaders in the community and get networked and plugged into the right individuals.
How does CYP connect its members looking to make an impact in our community?
Well, there's a lot of different ways. So we have a community outreach committee that kind of fields volunteer opportunities for our entire organization. And through the last year, we've done a couple different larger scale projects. One of them being the construction competition that happens in February. People make giant structures out of canned goods, and at the end, it's all donated to the local food pantries. We actually got a prize for that, honorable mention for our design and our ideas, which was great. I think that volunteering is a huge part of any community member's life, but I think that's a great way that a lot of young professionals are really wanting to get involved and get connected in the community. I mean, personally, it's one of the best ways to make an impact while networking and meeting new people and getting to know organizations and things like that. And so our community outreach team has nonprofits come into their meetings and will give just a presentation about their organization, what volunteer opportunities are available to young professionals who are looking to volunteer with their organization. And so really it just comes down to what are young professionals passionate about, because there are volunteer opportunities that can meet any of those passions here in the community. We have working for United Way, we have a great nonprofit network in our community and a lot of dedicated community volunteers who are really willing to make a difference. And so we just hope that through our group that we can connect those people to the organizations and the people who are really making the most impact.
How does the Next Gen program impact young leadership in Columbus?
So the Next Gen program was started to recognize emerging leaders here in our community, young professionals who are really making a difference in life, work, and community. So it's going to be a 12-month project that we're hosting, and every 3 months we select a nominee that is in life, work, and community. So it rotates every quarter. And part of it is these nominees are submitted by the community. So it's not just the board submitting names or the young professionals submitting names. We want people in the community who are seeing someone going above and beyond to do it. So it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your neighbors doing something really great. And we're taking submissions through the end of 2016, and it's a really good way for us to kind of honor the leaders in our community that are making a difference.
The CYP Professional Development Series began earlier this year. Tell us about its success and what our first-time viewers can expect. Are these members-only events? Who's invited to attend?
So the Professional Development Series, it started earlier this year, and I think it's one of our really great successes. We have had so many members show up. We initially started at the chambers here, but it actually grew so big that, and speaking of its success, we actually moved it to the visitor center. And so I think it sort of is a great program in terms of a first-time viewer can come in and expect, of course, meet new people, network with the community. And also I think more importantly, the focus of this program is to hear somebody of a high caliber from our community come in and talk about their success or something they have an expertise in. And so I think learning something new is what this program focuses in on. And I think it sort of brings everybody together in a professional setting. So I think that sort of is what a new member can expect, right?
Yeah, I kind of want to add on to that.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to that safe place that CYP offers young professionals. For example, we just wrapped up a financial series.
Yes.
And we brought our peers, YPs, to speak on a panel about maybe some topics that aren't very comfortable for the YP generation to talk about with their employers, their parents. Maybe we don't want to admit that we don't know anything about how to set up a 401k or things like that. So we kind of create this this panel discussion, I guess, session,
Yeah.
where we feel comfortable asking those questions to our peers who, you know, if that's their specialty. We're giving them that opportunity to ask the more difficult questions, I guess, and to learn from our peers.
Yeah, it's all the topics that we think we as a millennial feel is important to us, but we may or may not know it's in its entirety. And I think it's sort of is where we bring in our peers to talk about that, and it helps connect.
Yeah, we do try to do
Personally.
uncomfortable topics too. So like we kicked off the series, and it was my favorite one,
Yeah.
was how to network. So a lot of us coming into new to town, you know, there might be someone that we want some FaceTime with, but we're scared to ask for it or don't know how to ask for it. So we actually had, was it 3 months, 4 months?
Yes.
So we do it once a month is the program. And we did a 3-4 month series where we did like the 5-minute elevator pitch. So if you have to meet someone real quick, what do you say to them without giving them your entire life story? And we did like how to do a handshake and network a room full of people where you want to hit the most people you can in a short amount of time. And then how to be confident too. So like how to read the room. So if there's a closed group of people, you know, maybe that's not the right time to approach them. But if there's an opening and there's a spot for you to slip in, then that group is ready, you know, to have people come up. So we try to change the subjects through the year, and we try to really choose subjects that are relevant to what our peer group needs to know.
So if you're socially awkward, join the CYP.
We'll fix you. Yeah.
No, it seems really, you know, just from an overall perspective, you know, you're doing such amazing things that, you know, from professional development, you're making people better at their jobs, doing that, you're giving them opportunities to serve, and then so work, life, community, right?
Yeah.
Those are the big things,
Absolutely.
and you help us in the Columbus community get better at that. And it's really cool that there's actually an intentional group that's committed to that mission.
Yeah, and I think we so far have about 95, is it? 95 members so far, and I think we're just growing by every,
Leaps and bounds.
yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So I think we have lots to do.
Yeah, and too, you know, we are growing every day. The chamber is getting new submissions, new memberships. And what's really neat about it too is that we give you the opportunity when you join to kind of let us know where you want to be plugged in.
Yeah.
So we have all of these committees, and you can try something new. So like if you're finance and you don't want to be in the finance committee, you want to do events, then you know, you can be like, hey, I want to plan something. So it's an opportunity to kind of branch out of your comfort zone.
Renner Motors is the official vehicle sponsor of the hashtag Celebrate Columbus show. For the next year, we'll be driving around a 2017 Honda HR-V representing Renner and celebrating everywhere we go. Renner Motors is Southern Indiana's premier Ford and Honda full-service dealership. They're located in Columbus, Indiana, and have been locally owned and operated since 1948 by the same families. Our family has personally been buying vehicles from Renner for over 25 years. If you were to ask me where you should buy your next car, with or without a sponsorship, I would recommend Renner every time. If you would like to check out their latest deals and current inventory, check out their website at rennermotors.com. Renner Motors is located at 3055 Central Avenue. So how can people get involved with CYP?
First, just come check out an event. We have the professional development events, we've got the networking events, we have our CYP special events going on throughout the entire year. So just keep a lookout on our website, our Facebook, and our Twitter accounts to just see what the latest upcoming event would be.
Let's go ahead and link that up right here. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, no, you guys can't see it, but it's there, like right there. Okay, how else?
Also, you know, if you like what you see, if you have a good experience with CYP, become a member. We'd love to have our membership grow and have more people in different parts of the community become a part of our group. So you can go to our website, that's columbusyp.org, and the membership information is there for you.
And as you guys can see, that link is actually in the description because we really want you to consider joining and becoming a Columbus Young Professional. I made it really simple. You go, just click that link. You got a lot of different questions. What are some of the types of things that they'll be answering?
I think the membership form is directed to get to know you as a member. We want to be able to present the events and gear that towards you. So how long have you been in Columbus? What sort of interests you? Like, do you want to join a committee with us? We want to have a member that's not just attending the events. We want them to be involved, so getting to know your personal preferences, whether you're here with your family, whether you as a single, just I think demographics, getting to know what brought you here,
And we use those demographics to develop programming.
Yeah.
So, if we have a really big group of finance people, we might know that our professional development series can kind of focus more on finance for a few months. So it helps us plug them in and decide what we're going to do.
right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think it also will be like getting members to know each other eventually, and having their services highlighted too.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've learned a lot about CYP today and just the impact that they're making here in the Columbus community. I want to thank you guys so much for being on the hashtag Celebrate Columbus show. It's been awesome to have you. But before we go, we like to do a question of the day. It's the way to turn this from our conversation into the community's conversation. So if you could ask Columbus any question, what would it be?
So our question is, every month we have a professional development series, and what topics are important to you? What can we have for you to help you in your social life, your work life, or your community life?
Very cool. So that question, make sure to answer that in the comments below. There may be a really awesome prize. And what is that prize?
It's gonna be a year worth of membership for CYP. So yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
get to win that.
Free
for
membership.
free.
a free membership.
A free
I think that's a
membership.
really cool just way for us here, CYP, to extend that opportunity in the community, and you can see firsthand on a monthly basis the type of impact that CYP is making. Thank you guys so much for watching the hashtag Celebrate Columbus show. You keep asking questions, and we'll keep celebrating Columbus together.